Okay.
Okay. Welcome to today's podcast. I'm Deeps.
I'm Scalarius.
And I'm Spice.
And we had ourselves quite a long time between our podcasts here, and the fans were going nuts. They wanted us to come back for season 15, give our thoughts and everything like that. We were going into retirement. We decided to come back out swinging. We will. Today we're going to talk about some of the changes going on with gear and some other things. And I'm going to throw it right over to you, Scalarius, to give your opening comments.
Gear changes. I really don't care about the item level score difference because I don't like PvE, and I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that it's up to, what, LFR now? I mean, I don't follow it.
Oh, it's going to be higher than that. It's going to be like regular rating.
So no. normal like 10-man or whatever?
Yeah, normal modes, which is, it's what the majority of people that actually PvE are in.
Right.
Which,
so,
I mean, it might not matter so much as far as like, oh great, now I can raid, but it'll give us it'll put us on like an even keel with them going into the next expansion.
Right.
And
yeah,
actually too, it's not going to be so bad as far as world PvP, because now people aren't going to be able to like face roll you in like a single global cooldown like they can now.
What do you mean, like the 300k hits, which are constant?
Yeah, I mean, like when you out in the open world, you can see people in just like normal raid gear that have like 20% more health than you do, even when you're in full conquest. So,
oh yeah,
now it's going to change, and change for the better.
As for gear, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, that's the only thing that's changed. The new season, I hate how they did the flip-flop of colors. I mean, but it's whatever. I mean, I'm sure they have like all their art teams working on Worlds right now. Or World of Draenor right now.
Well, so, I felt that was kind of lazy, but I also think at the same time that's kind of one of the things I was worrying a lot about when they started talking about transmog. Are like the art teams going to get lazier in designing gear? Like you said, like I didn't even really think about that till right now, but like Warlords of Draenor, they're probably working a lot more on that stuff right now, and. Right. So they were just like, hey, so we'll throw Alliance gear to Horde and Horde gear to Alliance. Everything will be great.
I mean,
everybody's going to transmog over it anyways. Who cares?
Right. So, I mean, like, there's that. That's kind of a negative. I mean, I'm still going to play, but, let's see what happens. Like, you get the resilience change. That's huge. Yes. I know the one person who's pretty more vocal about the change between us three would be Spice. I mean, I think, I mean, it's whatever at this point. People aren't just going to hit things. It's going to be easier for me to do heals. Minus the damping in twos.
Dampening.
Damn it. This can't get it, man. This can't get
Yes.
No,
I mean...
I like dampering. That was my favorite.
I'll write it down on the back of your hand or something.
Left hand, right hand. Okay, so, Ian, what do you think about the resilience change?
Spice.
As you said...
Go ahead.
As you said, it's, it is going to be easier for a healer to heal. And see, I have a problem with that. Because, why should healers get that buff of, not their DPS not taking as much damage? What did DPS get from that?
Well, actually, one of the things that's going to put a giant hole in that is the fact that battle fatigue is now increased to 60% from 50%, which means that your heals are a lot less efficient. And dampening now in twos twos is a very unbalanced arena section anyways. 3s and 5s it's staying 10 minutes until dampening kicks in, but in twos now it's going to be 5 minutes until it kicks in, which essentially makes it so that, if there's a healer DPS comp versus a double DPS comp, all the double DPS comp has to do is wait out the 5 minutes and they will utterly destroy you. But I don't know, we'll see how that goes. I just think that all of the changes that they're doing are just it's just band-aids on the real problem, which is crowd control. this
Crowd
entire
control,
expansion,
bursts,
the serious problem has been crowd control. Like crowd control. That's in an effort to make the kind of like normalize all of the classes, or more like homogenize them, which I definitely didn't agree with at all, because, you know, in like historically you've always had your CC classes, which were like rogues and mages, and everybody was just like, oh, why don't I have this? And so Blizzard was like, hey, we're giving it to everybody, you know, and now everybody complains about how much CC there is. And what did they do to try to band-aid this mortal wound? They said, we'll have it so that everybody has 40% base resilience. And then it was, we'll up it to 60% base resilience. And then it was 72%, and now it's 77%, where that is just, all it does is make it so that anybody hitting you, it just doesn't really matter, and you can't stack enough PvP power to negate that at all. And like classes that are extremely crit reliant are going to suffer from this a lot more. And also too, like, speaking of how it's going to be a 77% baseline resilience, now the set bonus basically for having both PvP trinkets, it's going to be called Gladiator's Distinction, and it's going up from 2,500 resilience to 5,280, which is going to place us somewhere around 90.2% resilience once you have both of your trinkets, which is just going to be absolutely absurd. And I don't know. I'm just hoping that they're going to do something in Warlords to... Honestly, like, my wish is that they're just going to say, hey, you know what, everything's going back to how it was in Kata. That's it. Like, everybody's losing all these CC abilities, and too bad. You know, cry about it, and then a couple weeks from now, you guys are all going to forget about it anyways. I don't know. What's your guys' thoughts on this?
I do agree with you. I think that if you want to go invisible, you should have to play a rogue. You should not be allowed to play a fucking fricking hunter or a fricking mage. And I really, you know, I do not agree with the fact that a warrior can fear, you know.
Yeah.
I do not agree. Well, priest and warlock, you know, they've always had those, but I do not agree that warriors can fear. Well, let's see. I do not agree with the fact that mages can ice block twice in a row. You know, that's okay, but defensive cooldowns that make you invincible really shouldn't be have the ability. You know, you shouldn't be able to use that. It's a mage skill. I can't recall what it is right now, but it ends the cooldown on your ice block, which I think if they, you know, that's kind of mentally challenged, and
bitches love,
you know,
ice
I
block.
think that it should. Sure, but maybe they could
Mages love
reduce
ice block.
it. Yes, maybe they could reduce it by 10 seconds instead of instant cooldown and a heal. That is kind of, oh, I forgot to mention that the spell that does take your ice block off cooldown also heals you.
Nice.
But, swag.
Yes.
I mean,
swag
hypothermia
indeed.
is okay, but I think that maybe it could be a little longer if you're going to make it so it's got an instant cooldown.
Yeah.
Yes, that is all I have to say about the current state of this game, which I am getting more and more willing to not pay the money and play something that is a lot better. But, you know what, that's okay. I love Blizzard. Blizzard is God.
Blizzard is God.
No, well, I'm just hoping that this is some kind of prereq to Warlords just changing everything, because it is a tad ridiculous right now with a lot of things, like like I said, like crowd control, absolutely out of control. And
That was
baseline
good.
resilience is just ridiculously stupid. Like, I understand that they put that in there for the most part to make it so that, crowd control plus burst was kind of getting negated, and it was a lot more advantageous for PvEers coming into PvP that weren't really geared for it. And I don't know. I just think they have to find a better way to do this. Like, honestly, like, the only thing that I can see just saving PvP is an absolute revamp of it. They should honestly just start all over again. Tear it down, start all over again. And make something that works rather than what they're doing now, where it's almost like like literally it's almost like they have a blind person in front of a freaking like set of levers just pulling and pushing and trying to get them in the right order. There's like no rhyme or reason to a lot of things that they've been doing. I mean, to them there is, but there's a lot of there's better solutions that they can use rather than
I
the stuff
agree
that
with
they're
you. I think
doing right now.
if you want to, I'm not quite positive as to how this could work out, but I really think that they could make it so skills react differently with each other in PvP situations opposed to PvE situations. That
I mean,
way,
they're starting. They've done that a little bit here and there, right now, or I mean, even currently, and they honestly should just bite the bullet and just do like a total revamp and make it so that PvE and PvP are totally separated. But then what would PvEers have to cry about if things got
nothing,
changed?
and that's
They
the fucking beauty of it,
couldn't
because
be like,
we wouldn't have to.
I'll get your PvP out of my PvE like they always do. And I don't know. I mean, right now, like, honestly, like, I think that's the best solution that they could do is just separate them all. But I honestly
but
think
if you
that
really think about it, continue.
I mean, no, like, that was great that you said if you really think about it, because that's kind of what I was going to say. Like, if you really think about it, then that would kind of dry up most of the forum posts about, raiders and the like crying about how PvP is ruining the real game. And there's a lot of moderators on those forums, all right? And those guys would probably start losing their jobs. And in this economy, we really can't afford that. Thanks, Obama.
Yes, but if you think about it, these fucking nerd babies crying, that's a good source of money for Blizzard. You know, if the majority of them have something to cry about PvP, well, just break it. They'll pay more money to play your game, and it'll make them happy. And then the PvPers start crying, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna unsubscribe, blah blah blah, man, my mom." Then you fix what they have. You're going to keep money into your game, possibly get more players because they'll introduce their friends. And so if you think about it, breaking their game is a good way to make money.
Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. But I mean, and speaking of too, no, somebody's dog's unhappy. But we've already kind of started having. And I'm going to actually post like a separate video from this sometime later this week about my thoughts on this. But I'd actually kind of like to hear your guys' thoughts on this, where everybody can really agree that there's a lot of things that are wrong right now. But it's really easy to make a blanket statement and say something that people will get behind. But when you start getting more specific, that's when things start falling apart. Like right now, people say, crowd control's out of control. Like, CC is absolutely out of control right now. And people like, yeah, it really is. It really is. It's just crazy right now. Like, it's too much. But really what people are thinking is, like, your CC is out of control. Because when they start bringing up specifics, like, say, I play Rogue, Spice, you play Shaman, Sclarius, I don't even know what you play right now. Priest? Priest? Okay. Yeah, so priest. Say that they were like, like I say, CC is out of control. You guys can both agree with that, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been stunned for 16 seconds straight, and then right as soon as it comes out, I get like holy blocked for 4 seconds, and then die.
Right,
Like, it's like,
but you know what? When they made the changes to Psyfiend, or not Psyfiend, what's the like fear totem basically from priests called?
that's Psyfiend.
Okay, it is
The
Psyfiend.
guy just
All right, when they
stands
made the
there,
changes to Psyfiend, yeah, and it's just like, you know, like when they made the changes to Psyfiend, I'm sure you were probably like, whoa, no, that didn't need fixed. Like that didn't need changed, you know. And when they made a DR with your own fear too, it's like wait, you know, and then Spice, I'm not really sure of what kind of CC that, or like hex, like say that they were like, you know, we're gonna make it so that you can hex people, but if they're already under some other form of crowd control, the hex it just doesn't work and your cooldown's gone. You know, like you'd probably get upset with that, right?
The rational thing for me to do would be to go complain on the forums. But,
right. Well, I mean, rationality aside, I mean, we play WoW. There's no rationality
There's
in
no
this.
rationality.
We
It's
all
not
just
like
go
that.
apeshit whenever.
Yeah.
And if they told me like, you know, Sap's gone from Rogues, I'd be pissed. You know.
Would it really
But
surprise you if they took that out, though? That's the thing.
No, but that's how it goes. You know, like what I'm saying is, it's like it kind of it's like the comparison that I had the other day when I was talking about this was like the problem with government. You know, like people will say like, oh, government's so screwed up right now. We need to fix it. We need to throw all these bums out and we need to start all over again. But then when you get to the voting booth, you're like, you know, my guy's doing a good job. It's all these other guys that's the problem. So I'm going to vote for my guy that's been in place this whole time. And everybody does that too, because they think that it's not them that's the problem. They think that it's everybody else that's the problem. So I think that that's going to be a major problem. And actually, too, you can see this in the Warrior forums right now with the changes to. Originally, they were going to change charge to make it so that it rooted you instead of stunning you. And then if you spec'd into Warbringer, it would stun you still. And Warriors freaked out about it. And I can understand that because, you know, charge has always had some sort of stun that went along with it. I mean, that's just been a staple of Warrior playstyle forever. But then they decided to make it so that that like if you use Pummel, which is it's an interrupt and it locks you out of whatever school you're casting, and they made it so that was it Distracting Shout, I believe it is. Now, if you use Pummel, Distracting Shout has a 15-second cooldown on it. And if you and vice versa, if you use Distracting Shout, then Pummel has a 15-second cooldown on it. Which I mean, that seems like a perfectly viable thing to me because they both do the exact same thing. They interrupt spell casting and they lock you out of whatever school you're casting in. And there's literally no reason whatsoever why you would have like, it's mainly people that are raiding and PvEing that are complaining about that because they're, yet again, PvP ruined the real game because, you know, it's the real game because that's what they play. But literally there's no reason. If you're in
all the time.
Right, well, I mean, like, honestly, dude, if you're in a raid group with 9 to 24 other people, there's literally no reason whatsoever why you would have to interrupt anything spellcast and lock them out of that school for however many seconds twice in a row. If there's 9 other people there or 24 other people there, somebody better pick up the freaking slack. It better not be just you that has to do it. And it's stupid that they can do it in PvP. You know, where Scalarius, you heal. So
Right.
How fun is that when a warrior charges you, stuns you, then pummels you when you're trying to cast, like stops your cast and locks you out of holy, and then all of a sudden they're like, lol, bam, Distracting Shout. Now you're locked out of it for another 4 seconds. You're dead, and so's your teammate.
Yeah,
End of story.
every
You
time
know,
I
like,
do too,
it's
so
just
Ian,
stupid.
We'll win pretty much 90% of them, but like the 10% we lose is because of a warrior. we lost
Right.
one in,
Right.
and I was like, the only reason we lost was because of a warrior. And it had nothing to do with the damage fight. It just had to do with the fact that I couldn't heal. Physically, I could not heal against a monk and a warrior. Warrior mostly. I mean, it was flavor of the
I
day.
remember
It was
coming
like-
up against that too.
It was like 9 out of 10 groups we got were warrior comps. I was like, Jesus. Like, Slam your head through a wall.
I remember that happening to me too when I was playing Shadow, where if I had a warrior up against me, I was done. That was it. If they decided to attack me, I'm done. Period.
Yeah,
unless when they came in for the charge, unless they came in for the charge before they hit me, I feared them, or I used my Psy Fiend, then I was done. That was it. End of story. Game over. That's one of the main reasons why I opted to start playing Rogue, because it's a lot harder for people to lock me down. I mean, granted, they don't have anything for burst for the most part, but utility-wise, we got utility for years. But yeah, so.
Years. All right, so
It's like when
So I don't know, what else-
Oh, Ian, do you want to finish your?
Go ahead.
Your...
Go ahead, Spice. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I
No,
would
you-
actually
no.
appreciate that quite a fucking bit.
Okay, well, then just go.
It's like when I'm attempting to burst on my shaman. I got him down to 40% health or so, It's going to be a one-shot if I burst on him. Well, what do I know? I get a warrior who feared me all the way through my ascendance, and then he freaking shockwaves me right away when I come out of the fear, and then my ascendance is completely gone and there's no more burst for me. So, I want to commit suicide at this point.
And that's only if you didn't accidentally pop Ascendants and Ghost Wolves before the doors even opened.
Yes, I was at that point still getting used to my Razor Naga. Razor, you make a great mouse. I really appreciate it if you send me free stuff.
You guys really do.
Yeah, I would really appreciate. I would really appreciate it if you sent me free stuff.
You're not going to show your razor?
If you'd
Or
like to know,
paychecks. I mean, we could use paychecks, royalty checks, something.
yeah, I mean, if you would like Razor, please contact me for my home address, at which you could send me about $7 million worth of mouses or so. That
7
I think
mice,
that averages
even.
out to.
the balloons.
They're
Yeah,
about
that's a little
$70,
excessive.
give or take about $70 a mouse. So 7 million.
It's about like 100,000 of them. Send them
Yeah, I'll
100,000.
take-
Get 100,000.
I'll take 100,000 mice,
Mice.
if that's okay.
There you go.
Mices?
I said mice, you mother.
He said, I hate you, Mises to pieces. But anyways, so
Yeah, I love some mouses.
I don't know. Honestly, to kind of sum everything up, because we kind of went off on like quite a rant there for a little bit, but I don't
love
know.
you, Razor.
So going into season 15, we are going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 90% resilience, which all three of us can kind of agree is absolutely ridiculous. The gear is just going to be swapped from one faction to the other, which is kind of lazy, but it's whatever. We all have our own transmog
Blizzard.
sets.
What do
Pretty
you
much
fucking
everybody else
expect?
does, though. Well, we kind of knew this was going to happen with transmog, and honestly, like, I really don't care that, we're going to be getting basically a recolor of the Alliance set from last season, because I would rather have them rush this season out with no new look for the gear, so that we can get closer in eye level to what PvE players are right now, just to make it more even in world PvP. And honestly,
from
like,
any level.
I don't even know if I got this. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know if I got this in this recording, because we did about 17 of them before we actually got this one going.
There's
And
so many good
here we're
numbers.
already at 20. We're at 24 minutes and we haven't screwed up anything yet. But one of the things that I was very happy to hear about when they announced this season was about 2.5, 3 weeks before they announced it, I tweeted Holinka about this very thing, and I asked him if there was no new season, how was the next expansion going to go forward? Like, is it going to be like lol face roll for raiders and okay for us PvPers to start leveling? Or was it going to be okay for raiders to start leveling and a severely uphill battle for us PvPers to start leveling? Like, who was going to be gimped? Or like, were we going to be gimped, or was it going to be like super easy for them? So I'm glad that they made these changes to put us more in line with each other, because literally every other expansion in WoW's history has been like neck and neck with PvP and PvE top end. So I don't like the change to the 70 or the resilience. And Scalarius, you look like you want to say something there.
No, I was telling you to wrap it up. No, what we're gonna do?
I don't do that. I go bareback, man. I'm like a sofa, or I'm like a sofa bed.
The last topic we should probably save for another podcast, 'cause it's too much to talk about. What we should talk about right now is the one thing I just want to get across that I've seen, which, quote unquote, might be in the next patch. Probably not, though. Hopefully the pre-order Warlords of Draenor, Worlds, great, and purchasable 90s. That is on the PTR.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's, you got the half sides. You get the side that thinks it's going to break the game, even though they're still going to do it. They're still going to buy it. And then there's the half, which is us, which I really don't give a shit. And that means I can, like, play a Huntard now.
Right.
And stuff like that. And a Palaqueer.
I believe it's pronounced Hunter.
Stuff like that.
Or Paladin.
Carl, I really don't appreciate you talking bad about other people's classes.
I really don't appreciate your BDSM, man. I think
okay, well.
So what do you guys think about the purchasable 90s?
I think that's a good idea. I think it's going to be all around good for the game. I think it's a very good business decision from Blizzard.
Some great pinpoints.
Honestly, like I
I
see nothing.
Recording.
I literally see nothing wrong with it at all. Like nothing wrong with it at all. And I think that the only people that do see anything wrong with it are the I did it this way, so you should have to do it too type people. Like the only problem that there is with it is, like I had to slog up to level 90, and you should have to do it too. And that argument just doesn't sit well with me at all, because
the only thing I really
I started
understand
playing
that would be if like the whole purchasable ones. So like with like a DK, you had to get to a certain level before you could make one. In order for you to buy a 90, you should have to fucking have a 90 first, or something close. So you at least understand the game, because there's going to be too many people coming in the game that have no idea how to play. Leveling.
No, well, they're going to make a starting zone that's kind of like the Death Knight starting zone that teaches you how to play it correctly.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
but then
keyboard turners left and right.
I mean, there's plenty of. All right, no, but I mean, there's plenty of people now that the game doesn't really start until you hit level cap, and even then in Warlords, you're not even going to be at level cap. You're going to be level 90. You can level up every single character to level 90 by purchasable 90s, and it doesn't matter because you still got 10 more levels till you get to level cap, and you even have anything to do. I mean, look at us now. Like when you're leveling alts, dude, how many times have you died on an alt in like full heirlooms? Like maybe 3 or 4 until you actually hit close to level cap. Like you still don't even like. I mean, I have multiple. Like I have an 88 tank, my Paladin. I have no idea how to tank. Okay, like none whatsoever. But I still don't die that often. And I'm almost level cap. But I think that the drawback with the whole you should already have to have a level 90, it's a bad business decision, because they're trying, they were up to 12 million subscribers in Wrath. They're up again now. They were down to about 7.3 or 7.4 million subs, which is still nothing to oh, this game's dead. That's still $114 billion a year in revenue. But now they're back up to 7.8, and one of the things that's upping those subs is people that are going to be able to just hit a 90 boost. I have plenty of friends that haven't played for years that are talking about coming back just because they'll be able to boost their current character or their old main up to 90 and start playing with me. What kind of selling point is that? If you were hey, do you want to play this game, this World of Warcraft? I'm not sure if you ever heard of it or anything, because I know that you've lived in a cave for the past 17 years, but if you're talking to one of your friends, you're like, hey, you want to start playing WoW with me? And they're like, yeah, great, sure, that's awesome. Let's start playing. And then like you're like, oh well, I have like 490s, and you have to start playing at level 1 and spend like 2 weeks leveling up to level 90 till we can even begin playing with each other. I guarantee you they'll hit about 50 maybe and stop playing if you're not leveling with them. So that's why I think it's a good business decision because, you know, boom, level 90. Hey, let's jump right into current content together. I can teach you how to play because you know what? I've played for freaking years, and like I know the class that you're trying to level right now.
You know what? I just can't wait to see the retards who come on the starting zone and they just start asking you like game questions about like settings, like what's a keybind, or like just, you know, like really silly shit.
Like, do you have gold for me?
Are there mailboxes around here? I'm like, do you know how to repair? I'm like, oh my god.
Like, no.
And they're the people I'm gonna really mess with. Because it's gonna be way too easy.
Yeah, see, I don't really think that it's gonna be that bad, honestly. Like, it might be a little bit, but then again, we should be welcoming that kind of stuff.
Alright.
We ain't raiders. We ain't PvEers. We aren't like gonna be like, oh crap, is this person gonna be in my raid? You know, we should be thinking, is this the person that's gonna be coming into the 2s arena with me or the 3s arena against me? You know, is this the guy that's going to be on the other end when those doors open? That's what I'm looking forward to.
That'd be kind of fun.
As long as they don't decide to boost a monk, I'm fine.
Spice.
Because, you know.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you look like you're contemplating so hard right now. Like you're like ready to burst forth.
I mean, you're just full of energy.
He's thinking real hard.
You know,
he's watching porn right now.
I think that, you know,
He's on
I've got
bangbros.com.
Sounds like it.
Send us money, Bang Bros.
And you on that BDSM fucking category?
Well, actually, Mike, I'm on Bang Bros, the best porn website in the world.
It's Deeps, by the way.
You should all definitely go to it. Please send us money. I think that free 90s are honestly a good idea. They, I have 590s myself, but you know, I think that I don't want to level the rest of them, so I'd rather purchase them. To be honest.
Part my hair here. There we go.
Right. I mean, we all have that one class that we've tried to level, and have just been like, I don't want to do this, but I just wish it was 90 already.
Yeah.
Like, even, I mean, when we were all leveling up our rogues together, I can't even tell you how many times I was just, like, wanting to just stop. But pushed through, persevered, gave it that whole 1-2,
man.
And
like that shit that just won't come out, but it comes right out and you're in pain,
exactly.
But, you know, it happened.
Yeah.
Got it over with.
Right, so, okay, here then. Final question having to do with this. When Warlords hits, what class are you going to boost?
I was either thinking Hunter or Priest.
I think you should do Priest, but...
And why is that? Like, what makes you what makes you want to do Hunter or Priest?
Because, you know, since Burning Crusade, I've always wanted one, and I've just never gotten around to leveling it. I've always really wanted to, like, try a Hunter at max level. But, you know, I couldn't bring myself to get it past 15. And so yeah.
I'm thinking Druid.
And what about you, Scalarius?
Druid for sure.
Druid.
Yeah. I don't know why.
What spec would you want to play?
Well, I have my Priest at the moment for healing. I mean, if healing, you know, if I get bored of it, I can always switch, you know. But I mean, obviously leveling up. I think I'm either gonna go Boomkin or Kitty. You know.
Nice.
I mean, I'm on PvE, so I don't level tanks anymore. Last time I leveled a tank was on my warrior. I mean, I don't like leveling up in a spec that I'm never gonna play once I hit max, because I just like, why would I take the time to like perfect a spec that I'm never gonna use? You know, it's like if I'm gonna heal, I'm gonna level up as a healer. You know, like I'm not gonna play DPS all the way up. like when my priest, I healed to like level 60 and stopped, and just did Shadow the rest of the way because I couldn't take it. And then I played Shadow because I wanted to play Shadow. That was my ultimate goal. I mean, I thought it was just stupid to like level all the way to 90 as my spec.
Well, Shadow's really boring before level 40, just
right.
From experience. Before you get Shadow form, it's just boring.
Yeah, it sucks. You can't do shit. But whoa. All right, there we go.
Yeah, you're better.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one with the boost. What are you gonna boost?
I'm very, very heavily leaning towards Monk to do healing. I really dislike healing in PvP, but I honestly think that monks are very forgiving with that, as far as I've seen, or maybe even DPS with the monk, because I actually have 2 monks that are both level 46 right now.
Sorry about that.
And both of them are healers. But I'm thinking either I'm gonna use it on my monk, or I might go with my warrior. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up right now, but I'm leaning very heavily towards monk just because they need to be nerfed very hard in PvP, and I honestly think that the only way that they're ever going to be nerfed in PvP is if I have a max level one. Because that generally seems to be, like, what happens.
It's like whenever I touch my priest, it's great for one season, the next season it's nerfed into the ground like no motherfucking other business.
That was just,
so
that almost inspired quite a joke when you were talking about touching your priest. I was thinking about it, shouldn't it be the other way around? I'll be here all week. But yeah, no, it's like I played forever on, I mained my hunter for 7 years, and they got knocked down pretty hard in PvP a while back, and then I switched mains to my priest, and they got decimated in PvP as far as nerfs go at the beginning of, like a quarter of the way through Mists, and so I went over to my rogue, and they started kind of beating them up too. So I figure if I level up a monk, that's the only way that Blizzard's ever gonna start knocking them down to where they should be. But anyways, I think that we should do a send-off here, because I know Spicy over there is getting a little sleepy. He's gonna go patty pies. Yeah. So, I don't know. Any final words, boys?
Nope.
No.
No. All right. Well, I guess then, this has been fun. It's been all over the place. We gotta get back to getting a little more structured here.
Yeah. It's been a while.
As I said before, I'm thinking about doing my own little deal on our site, and also too, if you are actually one of the people that pays any attention to our site whatsoever, Scalarius here screwed everything up and destroyed our entire site. So this is going to be,
we lost.
This is going to be the first post on it. And I don't know. I encourage you guys to do the same thing as me. Like, come up with your own little idea. Do like a once a week thing.
I'll do it.
Post it up, whether it's like whether blog,
nudes,
whether it's a little video, anything like that.
I'm really into modeling.
No
so
nudes. No nudes. We don't need the ESRB on our butts.
Oh.
But yeah, so if you've suffered through this 40 minutes of absolute hell, God bless you, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
All right.